Suddenly, the South Korean entertainment world was shaken by shocking news. Jimin, a member of BTS, was reportedly furious at a nurse involved in a controversial incident that befell Jungkook. What really happened behind the scenes? Why was Jungkook, who was serving his mandatory military service, forcibly moved to a cramped treatment room, far from comfort and safety standards? This is not just about medical care, but about the significant roles of parties seemingly involved in efforts to cover up something much larger. Who will be held responsible for this shocking incident? The commotion began when Jungkook, who was serving his mandatory military duty as a soldier in South Korea, found himself becoming the victim of an unexpected incident. Not because of the heavy military duty or uncontrollable circumstances, but due to food poisoning that was allegedly planned by a senior soldier. This event not only harmed Jungkook's health, but also sparked a series of larger questions regarding the medical care he received. Jungkook, who is usually known as a global idol, had to endure tremendous pain after consuming contaminated food. Shortly after, he was rushed to the nearest hospital around the military camp. However, what should have been a rescue effort turned into an incident that confused many. The hospital made the surprising decision to transfer Jungkook to a treatment room far below the standard, a decision that raised suspicions among many. Why was this cramped room chosen? Was it really for Jungkook's safety, or were there other more suspicious factors behind it? Even more alarming, a nurse at the hospital was reported to be involved in the incident, further complicating the situation. Several eyewitnesses reported that the nurse secretly approached Jungkook, who was weak after being treated. However, instead of providing medical care, the nurse became involved in inappropriate actions. There were reports that the nurse tried to take photos of Jungkook while he was lying weak, even allegedly attempting to take something personal from the idol. All of this further worsened the situation and made it seem like the hospital lost control of the care that should have been provided. The situation became even more uncontrollable after the news spread widely among BTS fans, the ARMY. They could not accept the treatment Jungkook had received. According to them, as a global idol who was also fulfilling his duty as a soldier, Jungkook deserved better treatment. In a short time, the hashtags #ProtectJungkook and #JusticeForJungkook dominated trending topics across social media platforms, urging fans to fight for the idol's rights and safety. After the incident, the hospital chose to remain silent and did not provide a clear explanation regarding Jungkook's transfer to the cramped room. There was even no further clarification about the actions of the nurse who had tried to approach Jungkook unprofessionally. On the other hand, the public began to wonder if this action was related to Jungkook's status as a global celebrity. Was this bullying within the military institution, or was there another unexplained reason? Speculation grew wilder when some unofficial sources began reporting that this incident might not only involve a senior soldier. Many argued that there were certain parties who wanted to degrade Jungkook, even using his military status for specific purposes. Many questioned whether there were hidden forces behind the unfair treatment. This issue became even more heated, given that BTS had become an important asset for South Korea, not only in the entertainment world, but also in global diplomatic relations. So, the big question arose. Could there be parties who were jealous of BTS's popularity and tried to destroy Jungkook's image in this way? All this controversy eventually reached the courtroom. Military authorities decided to investigate the senior soldier suspected of being involved in food poisoning Jungkook. However, even though he was found guilty, many felt the punishment was still not severe enough, considering the impact this incident had on Jungkook's health and mentality. However, the main question was whether the punishment was enough to atone for all that had happened, or perhaps there were more parties involved in the effort to cover up the truth. Meanwhile, BTS's agency, HYB, did not stay silent. After receiving much pressure from international fans, they finally issued an official statement. HYB confirmed that they were conducting further investigations into this incident and would take legal action, if necessary. In the statement, they also emphasized that the safety and well-being of their artists were their top priority, and they would not let this incident go unresolved. They even sent a legal team to ensure that Jungkook received fair treatment both in the hospital and within the military environment. However, despite HYB taking action, the public still felt that something remained undisclosed. Some observers suspected that this incident was part of a larger conspiracy, and Jungkook might have become a victim of certain efforts to tarnish his reputation. This situation worsened the image of the South Korean military. Given the many previously revealed cases of violence and abuse of power, in the end, the biggest question that arose was, is this just a coincidence, or is there something bigger behind all these events? How could a soldier, who is also a global idol, be treated so poorly? Are there parties trying to cover up the truth? And more importantly, will Jungkook get the justice he deserves, or will this case remain an unsolved mystery? But behind all this commotion, we must ask ourselves, do we truly believe that this incident is real, or is it just part of a scenario designed to attract the media's and fans' attention? We have seen many controversial cases in the entertainment world that turned out to be more fueled by sensationalism than truth. So, are we trapped in a wave of speculation shaped by the media and fans, or are there hidden elements that we really need to pay attention to? Let's think more critically. How much can we trust the information we receive? In a world so fast-paced and full of information, we are often easily caught up in sensational news without truly digging deeper to uncover the truth. It could be that the story we hear is just a part of a larger narrative, or perhaps it didn't happen at all. Is this just a hoax created to manipulate our emotions and trigger reactions from BTS's very loyal fans? Furthermore, how can we assess whether the actions of the hospital and the military were truly wrong, or were they trying to cover up something worse? What should be our concern? The facts presented, or how we respond to news that arrives so quickly without sufficient evidence? And if there is indeed an effort to cover something up, who stands to gain from it? What is the true agenda behind the scenes? It's not just about what happened to Jungkook or BTS, but also about how we, as readers, fans, or the general public, respond to the information that comes to us. Are we quicker to react with emotions, or more patient in seeking the truth? Every day, we are confronted with news that sparks our curiosity. But do we really know how to filter out what is true and what is just fabricated to gain attention? As fans, we certainly want to protect our idols from injustice, but are we doing so in the right way? Or are we just making the situation worse by believing or spreading news that is not yet verified? Perhaps we also need to think about the impact this speculation could cause if it continues to grow without a strong foundation. It could be that we end up damaging the image of someone or an institution without knowing the full context. What can we learn from this incident? And are we really ready to accept whatever reality will be revealed? We must remember that not everything we hear or read is fact. Sometimes the information presented is just part of a bigger game involving certain parties' interests. So, before we make a decision or speak further, let's reflect. Are we just going with the flow, or are we truly trying to understand the situation with a clear mind and without prejudice? We must ask ourselves again, are we just becoming part of the big game played by the media and certain individuals, or can we be part of the solution by pushing for transparency and justice? Why is it so easy for us to get caught up in speculation without evaluating the facts at hand? Let's take a pause, think critically, and reflect. What really happened behind all of this?